How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Pilot Patriot channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at what I think is the best first rifle for a kid, the Savage Rascal. All right, guys, now we just got through the Christmas season, and this was my son's big present this year. This is the Savage Rascal 22. And this is what I think is the best first rifle you can get for a kid. Now, I did a lot of research on this, and I looked at a lot of different brands. There are other companies that make similar products to this, but after looking at all that information, the Savage Rascal is the one that I ended up going with. Now, my son is 6 years old. He'll be turning 7 here in the next few months. And a lot of you guys might think that's too young. I think it really depends on the kid, the maturity level, and what you as a parent have already taught them. Now, I have gone over extensively with both of my kids the gun safety rules, and this is not his first experience with firing a gun. Like a lot of other kids, we started out first with the Red Ryder BB gun. I think this is a great option for smaller kids that aren't quite ready for the real stuff. But even this Red Ryder BB gun was a little too big for him. You can see the size difference here. If we line up the trigger, you can see how much shorter the buttstock is. So really, this Rascal fits him even better than the BB gun did. So we're going to get in here and we're going to talk about why specifically I chose this model. We'll look at all the features of it, and then we'll do a little bit of shooting. And I even have some footage of my son's first shots with it as well. But before we get into all that, guys, if you haven't done it yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that notification bell, and give us a thumbs up. Now, reasons I chose the Rascal. First and foremost was the size. Now, this is a youth model. It's designed for kids, so it has a very short length of pull. The length of pull on the Savage Rascal is 11.25 inches. So what that means for the kids with little short arms, they can actually shoulder this rifle and still reach the trigger and safety and all the mechanisms. Like I mentioned before, that was even a problem with this Red Ryder BB gun because the length of pull on this is about 3 or 4 inches longer than the Savage. So my son, when he actually shouldered this, he wasn't able to reach the trigger comfortably. So what he ended up doing was putting it here under his armpit rather than up here on the shoulder. Now, if you're trying to teach proper mechanics and how to shoot correctly, you need to start out with something that actually fits. So again, the Rascal has 11.25 inch length of pull. The overall length is 30.5 inches with a 16-inch barrel, and this entire thing weighs in at just 2.7 pounds. So it is super light, and the child can easily hold this without getting fatigued. They can practice proper mechanics because they can actually hold it properly. Now, anytime you're working with children and firearms, safety is obviously going to be the most important factor. So the second reason I chose the Rascal is the safety aspect. So this is a single shot rifle, so there can never be more than one round in the gun at a time, and that's obviously safer. For example, my son, as soon as he shoots, he's just itching to go down and check out the target and see where he hit. So only having one round in the gun at a time, even if they were to get a little overexcited, or because they're new, they may forget some of the rules you've mentioned to them, accidentally get their finger on the trigger or something like that, they won't be able to fire another round because there is no other round in it. So I think because of the fact this is a single shot, I think that definitely makes this a very safe option. It's also bolt action, so there is a process that you have to go through to load and unload the rounds. So that kind of helps to slow down the process. As your kid is shooting this, they have to open the bolt, load the round in, close the bolt, turn the safety off, all before firing. And then before they can fire another round, they have to eject the old cartridge and start the whole process again. So it kind of slows down the process, keeps them from getting too antsy and wanting to fire fast or something like that. The Savage also has a very large, pronounced, easy to operate safety mechanism here on the side, as well as a loaded chamber indicator here on the back, so you can easily see from shooting position if it's loaded or not. The Savage also comes with what they call the Accu trigger, which with a little instruction makes it very clear when the gun is going to go off. You can easily feel with that trigger pull when the gun is about to fire, and having knowledge of exactly when that's going to happen, I think, is important for new shooters and kids especially. And the third reason I decided to go with the Rascal is the overall quality of it. One thing that the Savage has that a lot of similar models from other brands don't have is metal sights. A lot of Savage's competitors have plastic sights, and so these metal ones are obviously going to last quite a bit longer. It does have a synthetic stock with a really nice design. It has some stippling here on the pistol grip as well as the forend, and it just feels very comfortable in the hands. You're able to get a nice grip on it. And the Accu trigger that comes on these Rascals is just top notch. I can't tell you enough how amazing this trigger is, and we are going to get in here and take a closer look at that here in a little bit. The barrel is made of carbon steel and everything is blued very nicely. It's also upgradable, so you do have threaded holes here on the top so you can add sights and scopes and things like that if you wanted to. It also has sling attachment points here and here, so you can add a sling. They have a variety of stock options with different colors. This is the forest green. I believe you can also get black, blue, orange, pink, and camo. I believe they even have an option with a wood stock. They also have some models that are geared more towards precision shooting with a bipod, heavier barrel, and stuff like that. The MSRP for this model right now is $169, so it is also very affordable. And this is just overall a good quality, safe rifle. Now we're going to get in here and we're going to take a closer look at the features of this thing, and then we'll get out and I'll show you what it can do. Alright guys, so let's get in here and take a closer look at the Savage Rascal. Here at the end of the buttstock, this is plastic, but with something as small as .22 long rifle, I don't see that being an issue. This thing has zero recoil, obviously. Now if you look here at the action, again, it is bolt action. It's very easy to operate. I'm able to operate this with just one finger, which is very important, especially for kids that they can easily operate it. You can see here on the back of the bolt, this hole here is an indicator that lets you know when the firearm is cocked. So if I was to cock the bolt here, you can see it has a little pin that's sticking out now to let you know that it is cocked and ready to fire. I'm a huge fan of the sights on this rifle. It has a very nice peep sight here, which I think is great for kids. I believe the peep sight is a little easier to learn on than trying to line up the front sight with a groove on the back. I think that peep sight makes it a little easier. This is also adjustable for windage and elevation. Up here at the peep sight itself, you can loosen this and adjust it left and right. You also have a set screw here. If you loosen that up, that allows you to raise and lower, and then you just tighten it back down. When you open the bolt here, you can see there's a red follower there, and this is super easy to load. The child doesn't have to try to push the round up into the chamber. You can pretty much just drop your round in here and it kind of settles on that follower, and that's going to feed it up into the chamber whenever they close the bolt. You have a very large safety lever here, and it does take a little bit of force to push that forward to get it onto fire. It's not so much that they can't do it, but it does help prevent them from doing it accidentally. And then when you're ready to turn the safety on, it is super easy just to pull it back. You do have a red indicator here to let you know that the safety is off and the gun is ready to fire. And that's just covered up once you put it on to safe. Now to the trigger. If you guys are not familiar with Savage rifles, they have what's called the Accu trigger. So it has this little thin blade here on the front of the trigger. When you place your finger on the trigger, that blade moves back. And when that blade meets flush with the face of the trigger, you know that if you pull a little bit more, it's going to go off. It has a very nice crisp break there on that trigger. So really the only take up is the Accu trigger blade there. Once that meets flush with the face of the trigger, just a little bit more force and then very little travel to the rear. The front sight here is just a single blade that comes up to a little bit of a bead there at the tip. It's very easy to find, very easy to line up with that peep sight. You're also going to have 4 mounting holes here on the top of your receiver that you can use to attach scopes and any other aftermarket sights. All right, guys, and on top of all that, this is also a very accurate rifle. I was able to sight this in very quickly and easily, and once you get that dialed in, it does hold zero. I was seeing about a 3/4 to 1 inch spread at 25 yards using just the iron sights. I think for a gun like this, that's very acceptable. But this gun isn't for me, so let's go back and check out my son's first shots with the Savage Rascal. All right, guys, now I'm about 15 yards away. That's a good distance for kids, I think. And I am just gonna be shooting this offhand just to see what it can do. So let's check it out. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, that is 5 shots from 15 yards with the Savage Rascal. Looks like we got 3 shots in the same hole there, right pretty much in the center. I do have one outlier. I'm sure that was my fault, not the gun's fault. But if we go by these two, we're looking at about a 1/2 inch spread there. Even if you include that, it was probably about 1 inch. Very nice accuracy on the Savage Rascal. All right, guys, it is Christmas 2023, and my son here just got his first real rifle. This is the Savage Rascal. Perfect size. How old are you?
6.
6 years old. Perfect size for, you know, 6 to 8.
And it's so close to being 7!
Now, let's take some first shots. Are you ready?
Yeah!
All right. All right. So what's rule number 1?
Treat it like it's loaded.
That's right. Rule number 2?
Never put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to shoot.
Okay. Rule number 3?
Never point at anybody.
That's right. Always keep it pointed in a safe direction. All right. Do you remember rule number 4? Always know what's around your target and behind your target. Right. Yeah, so you make sure there's nothing behind your target that you're gonna hit.
Yeah.
All right. This is our second shot with the Savage Rascal. We're learning to use our right eye instead of our left eye. That's why we have the tape on there. Yeah, good job. No.
Shooting time.
All right, take your time. Turn the safety off before you touch. You got to push it forward. Good. Now aim, take your time. Nice, slow, steady squeeze. All right, finger off the trigger, safety on. You have to eject the old cartridge before you put it on safe.
Oh.
Good, now safe. Safety on. Good, now let's go check out your shot.
Again!
That's 2 good shots right there, bud. What do you think?
Good.
You like it?
Yeah.
All right, guys, that is it for the youth model single shot bolt action Savage Rascal. Again, guys, there are other options on the market, but I really think the Savage Rascal is the best for its purpose. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And YouTube does not allow me to add links to firearms on videos, but if you are interested in getting one of these for yourself, you can go over to my link tree. I do have affiliate links to several retailers there that do offer the Savage Rascal if you want to pick one up for yourself. So if you guys are looking for a first rifle for your child, I hope this video helped you out. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. And let's build a whole generation of new responsible shooters.